All right, Alan Liss at the beach at some goddamn convention. I've always gone to dinner first and gone to the movie. He said it should be reverse.
That's
because then
bullshit.
you have the opportunity to talk about the movie at dinner.
Oof. I mean, I
If
guess
you're eating at 9 p.m. or 10, I mean, whatever. But I never did that.
No, it's always dinner and a movie, which is exactly how it's phrased and exactly it's like, hey, you want to catch a movie and some dinner? No, it's dinner and a fucking movie. You head on over to the Red Robin, you grab yourself a burger that you'll never make at home with trinkets that'll never come on any other burger anywhere else in the world. Some avocado with a minced goulash with sweet peas. Like, what? Why? Okay, I'll try it.
On a burger, yeah.
On a burger. And then you head over to the movie theater. You get yourself a $15 bucket of popcorn. You eat it till your body literally is dehydrated. And then for us, because we live like 40 minutes from any decent movie theater, we talk about the movie on the way home.
On the way home. Yeah. I, an onion lover, think onion rings are overrated.
I think onion rings are generally overrated, and if they're done right, they are the appetizer, in my opinion. But they got to be done right. And I will say, Red Robin does the best onion rings in the business. Well, there was a time too where you could say, "Hey, would you like to come over to my house and watch a movie?" And it didn't mean have incredibly animalistic sex on the couch while something played in the background on the old Netflix. I legitimately think Ryan Reynolds saved Hugh Jackman's life. Like, I think Hugh Jackman was going through that divorce, and I'll just be honest, like, his wife was older than him. Hugh Jackman's been a stud in Hollywood for the last, 25 years. Probably could have had any floozy he wanted at any point in time, stayed faithful and true to his wife. She left him, and I think he was lost. And he had this character, and he had, quote-unquote, retired the character, and here comes old Ryan Reynolds. Hey, buddy, you want to go make $1 billion and do that thing you love? Why would you ever say no? He's got claws. We all wanted to see him use them. And then when we finally got to see fucking Hugh Jackman take those 12-inch blades and put them through somebody's face, he was like a dying, old man version of Wolverine. It's like, yeah, finally I get to see a piece of metal come out the back of somebody's head. But it's not in that ferocious, vicious, just brutal way that you hoped to see it. And now Ryan Reynolds was like, we talked about this before. Like, hey, fans, what do you want to see? This. Okay, give me 2 years. I'll give that to you. And that's what he did.
Hugh Jackman said, someone asked him, I didn't see him say it. I only saw a quote. It was like, how do you get in shape for something like that? And he's like, all right, whatever you enjoy, don't do it for a year.
Yeah. I feel bad for Efron. That jaw is distracting now. Have you seen his face?
No. What is this? Has he done something to enhance
apparently,
or fuck his jaw up?
No, apparently he broke his jaw, and it was really bad. To where whatever he did or whatever accident he got himself into, he almost died, and they had to break it and reset it. And because of that, it's almost like it's widened. He looks like a He-Man character. It's okay. It's obvious that something has happened to his face. And he doesn't hide the fact that he got mad because everybody's like, man, why'd he go fucking around with his face? That was his moneymaker. And he's like, I didn't fuck around with my face. Like, I had a medical incident. Yeah. They had to save my life. And now my face looks different.
I, for a long time, didn't like DiCaprio. And it's simply because he was a young heartthrob. Mm-hmm. And growing up where every movie he came out, every female that I knew was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it was... I vetoed or protested his ability just solely on the fact of jealousy. And then I think it got to a point where I was watching some movies later on, like This Boy's Life with De Niro, Basketball Diaries, The Island. I was like, oh, wow, this guy's fucking talented. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay, this guy can act.
Now, people are mad because he already played, he basically made the Marvel Cinematic Universe playing Tony Stark, Iron Man. And so now he's going to come back and he's going to play the next supervillain. So he played the ultimate hero and now he's going to play the ultimate villain. So my question is, does he have to play a version of Tony Stark that then becomes the villain? Or do you think Downey Jr. is good enough to where you can separate yourself from just his facial features or whatever, and then just be like, okay, he's just a new character now, period, done. I'll tell you what, I had a really satisfying thing happen. So I borrowed a rototiller to help dig the hole for this pool. I really like it. It's a giant piece of machinery off the shelf right now. It's like $1,200 machine, but it's like 50 years old. But those are the best ones, right? They're made out of fucking cast iron, fucking just never gonna break. And I was like, he's like, well, I only want $400 for it if you want to buy it. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I need it for right now, but I know I'm going to need it in the future. I gave him 4 $100 bills.
Nice.
And he goes, all right, cool. Didn't have to load it up on a truck again. Didn't have to do all the other horse shit. I now have this machine. There was no, here's this. Thank you. We all win.
Yeah.
There's no, you know what I mean? It was a great feeling because it was just like, two people making a deal with each other, and everyone's happy and moves on with life.
American Pickers circle real life. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's also different strokes for different folks. You never went to the house, but you remember my cousin Gary.
Yeah.
So they had an above ground pool that was lovely during our childhood. We went there a lot during the summer. They had cookouts, a lot of volleyball in that. And, it got to a point where his kids were, moving out, and it was hard to it takes work to maintain these fucking things. And he said, I just keep praying for the day that some drunk fucking smashes into it and takes it out, and we have to remove it. And I was like, really? Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, 100%. Fucking, it won't be my problem anymore. I was like, what about your fence? I was like, I'll fucking pay to replace it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. And I was like, God, that stuck with me. I was like, man, that's, oof, man, that's bummer, man. 50 large too, man. That's a bold.
Yeah.
I wonder how old this guy was.
Well, he was a kid. He didn't want to tell his dad, so I mean,
a kid with 50 grand to fucking
a kid that
patch up his problems.
Yeah,
Jesus
I mean, when
Christ.
he got that kind of loot to just kind of be like, we'll keep this between us. I mean, he's taking like most of my yearly salary to make a deal with some guy at 2 a.m.
I know. God, there'd been some times where I wish I could have bribed some people to not tell my parents. Like, and what could I have done? Like, I got $6. Please don't tell my psycho father.
I'll mow your grass every 4 days for the next 3 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, as a mailman, it's just, this is what drives me up a wall. There will be times where, like, sometimes the mail gets stuck together, right? So you might get literally your neighbor's mail the next mailbox over, and sometimes the next mailbox over is literally, I can take my left arm, stretch it out, and it's right there.
Right.
You will get mail in mailboxes that said, not mine. It's like, why didn't you just put, could you just done that?
Do you not know your neighbor? You don't even have to be friends.
Right.
You don't even have to know who the hell that person is. The address is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, it's like, I'm 513, 515. I don't know.
I don't know if I should do it.
Seems a bit shaky.
I should leave this to the professionals, but I should also write a paragraph on the front of this mail to let that neighbor know that the mailman's the one that fucked up. Not he got this flyer. I got this flyer from Belk's.
Yeah.
Did you know? It's just passed. It's just the other day. August 13th is Left-Handers Appreciation Day. It's launched back in 1992, and it celebrates and raises awareness of the difficulties experienced by left-handers.
God, listen, I know 1 in 10 people are left-handed, okay? So they are the extreme minority. And I've talked to a few, I've heard left-handers tell inside jokes amongst one another about like, oh yeah, like that. And that, it's just, things aren't designed for lefties. All right. They try to make it, both left and right, but I get it. And I think I watched Flanders from The Simpsons was a lefty.
Yeah.
And there was they had a whole episode around it. And it's this thing of, do we have to appreciate everything? Do we have to have an appreciation day that says, hey, I'm 1/10 of the population? God, man. So fucking what? Something happened a couple nights ago. We were we call it a Netflix show as we're winding down for bedtime, like a half hour, 45-minute show. And it was still kind of relatively early, and I was trying to sneak in a couple more, 15 to 20 minutes more of TV time, and that was on. And Sarah kind of was like, oh, I was like, wait, what? And she's like, here's the deal. Every time that's on, you stop and you watch it. And then she said, I don't even really like that movie that much. I was like, oh,
The wedding's off.
So we're done. We're done. How could you say such a thing? How could you tell me now? Why didn't you tell me 4 years ago?
Best story ever. I was working at the pizza shop back in the day, and this guy, he was Muslim, but he's as American as they come. He's like, man, when I moved here, I wish nobody would have told me about BLTs. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, when I first moved here, somebody asked me if I wanted a BLT, and I ate it. It's fucking delicious, right? So for years, that was my go-to, sandwich, just a BLT. And then finally, somebody told me what the B was. And I was like, fuck. I haven't had a BLT in a decade now. I'm like, why? It's against my religion. I was like, yeah, but for 10 years, you unknowingly ate it and nothing bad happened.
Yeah, for what, now presumably an eighth of your life?
Yeah.
If you do well.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, man. He's like, yeah, but when I didn't know, it wasn't a problem. But now I know I can't do it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I'm sorry for that. And finally.
He got that the thing of it was he got the bacon with the mayonnaise on it.
I don't like mayonnaise, but I got a BLT with mayonnaise because they forgot, and I was like, no mayo, and they put it on there anyway. And I gotta admit, man, sometimes I can break my own rules. You know what I mean?
It's right, man. It's against your religion. It's fucking so good.
Well, I'll put just a thin layer. Get it on that bread.
Man, it's a lubricant. Whew, man.
When it mixes with the tomato juices, that's where you're working.
I'm not a tomato fan, and I grew up going to visit my family in Iowa. They would occasionally, a side dish would be sliced tomato with salt and pepper, patties of. And don't get me wrong, these were good. These were farm grown. My grandparents knew where these were picked from. And I was like, ugh, I'll stomach a few of these and get them down just to make the fucking family happy. And that's not very appetizing to me. But when you say it like that mayonnaise and the tomato juice, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I know the mixture. I know the elixir. So we can't kick them off now. This fucking tagline's so good. Not that we were going to. All right, folks, we'll check you out next week. Holler at you.